Hello everyone, my name is TJunkie, and I figured I'd start a new series. It's going to be quite a quick game, to be honest, but it's going to be teaching quite a few fundamentals in game creation. Now, this is going to be a simple 3D coin collector with platforming and hazards like lava, lasers, falling things, etc. Along with coins that rotate and other little bits and bobs to add. So what we're going to do is create a whole new project. Asset packages, I've selected cameras, characters, because we're going to be using the first person controller. Effects, environment, for skyboxes and trees and everything, and that to have like a particle systems and stuff here. And effects like smoke and that. Don't need any prototyping, no utility and no vehicles. Click done. You should have 5. If you want to add any more you can, but for this tutorial I'm not going to. Now what I'll do is, once you've done that, make sure it's 3D and click create project. This might take a little bit of a while, but doesn't matter too much. If you have more assets, sometimes it takes even longer. We'll be creating our own. We'll be creating our own models. I'll be through this. I'll be also using Blender, so make sure you have that installed. It's a free open source 3D modeling program. You can get it on Steam or you can download it from their website. I will put a link in the description. And we'll be importing and texturing. They're going to be simple textures, but Unity works better when you create your own models and then import them in. A lot of the environments, buildings, objects like your pickup or anything like that, it's better if you create the model, because using loads of cubes and spheres and all these standard things that come with Unity, you come to a few problems down the road with texturing, because you'll have to stretch some and all sorts of crazy stuff. This idea came to me. I was playing Portal, as you do, and I thought, well, what if I do a lab thing and then we go outside and etc, etc, etc. So quite a bog standard empty project at the moment. We have our standard assets, which has got our characters in there, which we're going to need. It's got cameras, so you've got a CCTV camera, free look camera, handheld camera, and loads of other bits. It's worth noting here, I am using Unity 5, the latest version. If I have a look here, it's 5.3.5 F1. If you're using Unity 5, you should be able to follow along with this quite easy. There shouldn't be a problem there. First thing we need to do is create a couple of folders. So if I create folder scripts, create another folder for scenes, create another folder for resources, and another folder for models, and another folder for GUI. Inside the GUI one, we want to create a folder for fonts, and we want to create a folder for textures, and then create a last folder for skins. This way the GUI, your fonts, if you want to have a custom font or multiple fonts in your game skins. This is where you create your GUI skin. So if you go create then GUI skin, that's where your skin will be. And textures, that's for like your buttons and other stuff. You can even add even more folders in here by using by saying buttons. There you go. And you can have one backgrounds. It just keeps it all organized. The models is where we're going to import some of our models. Sorry, for like the coin model that we're going to be using, floor models, wall models, laser models, button models, anything you make that we're going to be making in Blender, we add in here really. Resources. This is for the achievement system that we'll be adding in later, because we will get all the achievement icons from this resources area here. Scenes, which is where we're going to put our scenes, like our main menu, levels, and other. Even splash screen. And scripts is where we're going to have all our scripts for the various different things. Like the coin, we'll have a rotation script that we attach to the coin. And what we need to create is actually create another. Not showing folder. Create another folder for prefabs. And this prefabs I'm going to just drag into the models, because I'll have all the models here, but I want the prefabs that we add scripts to, and then we can save as a prefab. We'll have a copy of them in here, so we could just keep using them throughout the levels. So with all that done, we've got a main camera here. We're just going to set up our scene quickly. The main menu we'll be doing later. For now, I just want to get the scene that we're going to be using sorted straight away. So what we want to do is, for now, if you click game object, 3D object, and cube, and zero out. So this is 0, 0, 0, and then you want the scale. We'll have it as 100, and we'll have it as 100. Oh, whoops, wrong one. And the Z will have 100. There you go. That way makes a flat surface. And make sure the camera's above it. Yeah, it is. And then this directional light, because it's so white, let's rotate it away a bit so I can see it more. There we go. And then we can just add a simple texture to this actually. So if we go to standard assets, environment, terrain assets, surface textures, and look forward here. I'm just going to use grass hill. Just drag it onto there. And then when we click the cube, size is 100. Whoops. Whoops. Wrong one. Tiling. So I've put his 100 and 100 in the tiling that way. If you look at it, it's not all stretch texture. Now this camera's way too high, so we just delete this camera off. And then we're going to add in our standard assets, characters, first person character, prefabs, and FPS controller. And then make sure we drag him so he's out of the floor. And then we hit play. And there's all here. This grass. Is way shiny, but I guess it doesn't matter for now. So now we've got our character. We've got the sun, which, yeah, looks alright. And we've got our folders that we're going to need. So in the next tutorial, what we're going to be doing is adding a bit of a hood to this player here, so you know where you're looking, so it's sort of a crosshair. And we'll also be creating some models in Blender to go along with this. And then what I will do is, after each project, if we've created multiple models, I will add them to a folder and upload them to my website. That way you can easily download these, and you can use them in your project if your modeling skills aren't too great. Mine aren't either, so don't worry about it, but there are a lot of free models on the asset store. So I've been T-Chuggy, and I shall see you next time. Goodbye.